this backswing position alone, when I'm keeping myself in my angles, and that's very important that you don't come up and start looking at your hands, and can you see I've altered my posture? So you must be committed to where the ball would be. The angles you create in the address are for the ball on the ground. We got to keep them like that. We turn around it. Now in this position, without the club in my hand as a distraction, without me swinging, hitting at balls as another two distractions, I can appreciate a couple of things already. There's discomfort. There's strain areas. My lower back's under pressure. My right knee and right instep as I've created a load into that. Hi everyone, Murdoch here. Hope you're well. You knowing what it is that you're doing wrong, but you don't know how to fix it. This incorrect move that you have, that I'm using over the top as an example of, is comfortable for you. So think about that for a second. It's natural for you, so it's comfortable for you. It feels normal. You got no reference point to what the right feeling is. Now, you could do a slow motion swing, and that's where I suggest you do if you have a club. But before that, you've got to understand if you're capable of making that move. So I like doing a drill without the club. Start to get comforted from a drill without the club, that you're able to find the positions required to fix your problem. So you've got to start right back at the fundamentals, the basic setup. So compare yourself to a professional, and you can start to appreciate the angles. So using the help of a mirror, you've made your turn and you've made your good backswing position by adding your arms and noticing that hands and arms fall into a certain position. So this alone, this backswing position alone, when I'm keeping myself in my angles, and that's very important that you don't come up and start looking at your hands, and can you see I've altered my posture? So you must be committed to where the ball would be for the initial turning. I've kept my spine angle constant, and my hips are turning more horizontally, so there's a strain throughout my back. It's uncomfortable holding it for an extended period of time. I need to rest. So if I've got the over-the-top move, quite often it's the body moving in a way that's comfortable. It's natural for you because you don't know of these discomfort areas that you need to embrace for making good swings. So I've done several videos, and I'm a really, really big advocate, and I've had a lot of success with clients giving them drills as they relate to them that don't involve swinging the club or hitting balls. They can do in the office, they can do at home. I think this is hugely important to get what I call muscle memory. This is how I interpret muscle memory anyway, is putting your body under the strains required for making a good move. And you can do this without the club to prepare yourself to understand that you're capable of making this move or not. If it's uncomfortable, you're doing it correctly, and let me tell you that. This is why golf is difficult. We put our bodies under a strain that's not natural. But if we do it long enough and we do it in a way to embrace and love this discomfort, it becomes natural looking. Pros practice for 8 hours a day for it to look natural. So this is important, and this is something you can do in the office or at home. Start there. Understand that you're capable of making that move that will fix your problem. Okay, after that now, you go to impact dynamics. So you've done your drills. Now let's understand impact. Where do I need to be from a good setup, and I have a 7 in my hand? Where do I need to be for a good ball turf strike on a path that runs parallel to my target line with a club face that's going to produce consistent draws or fades? So basically, I've got a club on the ground and I want my club face at impact to be 90 degrees to that. on a path that coincides. Ideally, pretty parallel to that for a straight flighted shot. Slightly in to out will produce a draw if the face is 90 degrees to my target, and slightly across the line with a face 90 degrees to my target will produce a fade. We don't try and hit it dead straight, so remember that. Pros are very good at hitting draws and fades, and as an amateur I suggest that you pick a draw or a fade and go with one of those. We don't try and hit it dead straight. But before we even worry where the ball's going, let's strike it properly. So back to impact dynamics. Set up well, use a 7 or an 8 iron, ball in the center for most people, and imagine where you'd be for a lovely compressed strike of ball, then turf, while you're seeing the club strike. A lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't see the club hit the ball, you're up and so on. I like seeing the club hit the ball. It's only momentarily, boom, and then we're up. But I like that satisfaction of ripping it. A lovely compressed strike thrill before you worry where it goes. Let's get 2 joys out of one swing. Let's rip it right out the center and find that we've come up and seen it land down the fairway or on the green close to the flag. That gives you a memorable shot that brings you back out again. So I like the fact that you need to see the club hit the ball. We're focusing on a stick hitting a ball. So let's train our eyes to look at the back of the golf ball. So you're imagining where impact should be. Ball turf, here we go. And you can also see as well that my shoulders are turning around my spine on an angle like this. But down the line, can you see how I'm keeping the club face running down my feet line on the same action here? So I'm going to produce a club face that releases down the line. I don't want to be in this position. So if you're now back at impact and you're leaning in from being a bit stiff and sore in the lower back, you've moved forward on it, you can start to understand where this over the top has come from. Can you see how I'm going to find it desperately hard to hold that club face from coming across? Pulling it left if I release, holding it open produces a slice, even a shank, a miss hit. So can you understand from just working backwards from impact on our over the top example, how you can fix that? You can then go, right, well, okay, I want to feel like I can get ball turf strike. So I've got to keep the hips turning while staying behind the wall, behind the ball here, keeping my shoulders turning, rotating. My right shoulder will feel lower, left one higher. And you can see now when you scrape the ball down the target, how that's producing a club face that goes parallel to your feet line. A swing path down the line. Now, holding this position, you're thinking, oh gosh, that's really quite uncomfortable. That's straining my left side. I've got a pinch in my right. It's kind of unnatural, but it's correct. It's the position I need to be in order to change the direction the club face travels through impact. Thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.